Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to do the spiced beef. This is one of the most popular dishes that we've done in the Korean barbecue class. I'm going to start here with a flat iron steak. This was from Brant Farms, the Terrace Major cut, which is the top of the shoulder. It's a way to get good beef for a lower price because this is like traditionally an unused cut. I'm just going to trim this up by cutting off a lot of the silver skin that you see on the top. I go into a lot of butcher shops actually and see this cut of steak cleaned wrong. They call it a flat iron steak because when you're done cleaning it, it should be completely flat. So after I've kind of trimmed off all this silver skin, this is the type of stuff that when you cook your steak, it'll be like the fatty sinew. So you want that, all that tough stuff gone. Then here's where the hard part comes. There's a large piece of sinew that actually runs down the center of the steak from the inside. It's difficult to find out where that actually is, so the best way to do it is kind of to pick a place in the middle of the steak and kind of guess. You want to be either on the top or the bottom of the sinew. Running your knife all the way down, you get two fairly flat, nice steaks. This on the edge here is actually kind of really tough in waste too. Again, you guys can see all this sinew that's hiding in the middle, but once you clean that out of there, you get a really, really good flavorful steak. And you know, because of all the fat you guys can see running through this, all that fat is what becomes flavor when the meat cooks. So, you see we've got flat iron steak, one flat iron steak, long, flat, looks flat, right? I'm going to slice this at a 45-degree angle, all the way down. It's important with the steak, whenever you come across it in a restaurant, you'll always see it kind of sliced like this, because the sinew and the grain runs this way. If you don't slice against the grain, you end up with a tough steak. But if you slice it with the grain, or if you slice it against the grain and you marinate it, you get something really kind of tender and delicious. So we're going to make our marinade by mixing together just a few simple ingredients. The first one, and the most important, is this clay pot Korean aged chili paste. This is actually imported directly from Korea. This is some of the best Korean chili paste you can possibly even get. We're really lucky to have it. I'm going to mix that with the black garlic we talked about before. Sesame seeds. These are traditionally what you use to finish the dish with, but I think that by putting them in the beginning, it helps you kind of get this mortar and pestle action going that I'm going to use to crush up the black garlic and the chili paste. Now I'm going to add a little white soy sauce, some garlic, and then oddly enough, one ingredient I keep seeing over and over again in Korean cuisine is maple syrup. Adds a nice richness, adds a nice sweetness, and then once the meat cooks, it actually has a nice glossy sheen on top. So I'm going to mix this in. And that's it. That's what we're going to use to marinate our beef. So now, we're going to lay our Brant Farms flat iron steak out in a bowl. We're going to add some of our chili paste. And just kind of mix that up. We want to marinate this in the fridge for at least 2 hours. So now we're going to cook our spicy beef. I've got a really, really hot pan, as you can see from the smoke coming off of it. I'm going to add some grapeseed oil. Again, I'm using grapeseed oil because it has such a high smoke point. And I just want to gently place my beef in here. Because we're using such high quality beef, I don't want to overcook it. I still want it to be like medium rare. So we're just going to gently sear both sides of the beef. You can see it's starting to get that nice kind of black-brown color because we added the maple syrup. And this literally only takes about 45 seconds. Now when your beef is done, you want to have, it's important to have a sexy display platter like I've got here. And kind of lay it out. And we can garnish with toasted sesame seeds and green onion. And and there you have it. Follow those steps and you'll be cooking Korean food like a white guy that's not Korean.